Hello, good morning, and welcome to the press on Kaftan Television. Okechukwu Bago here, and of course, I wouldn't fail to say that we are not starting so early, so it will be out of place if I fail to tender apologies for coming in this late. And as it is, we'll just go on and get something done. That's the most important thing. The show must go on. It's a pleasure to know that you are there, waiting for us, and that we're here to start doing something that will make a difference. Incidentally, we will just be looking at some newspapers, very few newspapers around with us, and we will start discussing very early. We wouldn't be talking about the situation today, and we'll just get on straight with the newspapers. So we would expect you to also get ready to start calling as soon as the numbers are displayed, and we'll go on with you. And I'm not alone. I have comrade, I have Matthew Obiseson. Good to have you on the program.
Good morning.
Of course, Matthew is not a new person here. He's always been part of this.
Yeah.
So it's good we're doing it together. Yes.
Good morning.
We both will do this, so I'm not doing it alone. Let's look at one of the newspapers. One of the newspapers is a New Telegraph. And New Telegraph, that's one we're kind of beginning with this morning. Above the masthead, it said, Cardoso, Nigeria in strong position to navigate global shocks. So that means that the economy is getting better. That Nigeria will not be able to stand when there is a shock, globally. Nigeria is in good enough position now to withstand it. That's beautiful news to hear. Well, I'll tell you more about that when we get to the business program. But right now, let's then take the orders. It says FG6 reduction in cost of fuel as crude oil prices decline. Well, so the prices decline, so there should be reduction in cost of fuel. That is what the federal government is seeking. Incidentally, again, part of that will be what you will hear in that other program. Now, below the masthead of New Telegraph, we have just above the headlines, we have a story that says Court OK's ICPC's request to examine electronic devices recovered from El Rufai's home. The other one, police, that will be on page 3, and then on pages 4 and 5, we have a police honor Egbetoko in pull-out ceremony. Then with the rider, Disu hails ex-IGP. Again, on page 2, we have illegal law admission. JAMB disowns lead city varsities intake, warns candidates. There's a university that is called Lead City University, and their intake of law students is shaky kind of, and so JAMB is warning. Then IRS, that is on page 8, IRS Airlines wins dispute against 18 Nigerian insurance firms. Now, on the headline itself, we have drama in Senate as Abaribe, Ume, Tamboa, 6 others defect to ADC. This time it is ADC, not APC. So there's made a little difference now.
Yeah.
That's why I had to stress the D so that people will know.
Of course,
because all the defections we've been seeing, this page of the defection has been APC.
Yes.
Incidentally, there's a difference now. Some people have decided to shift camp and to get to a different place, ADC. 12 reps dump PDP, LP for APC and ADC. Tamboa's defection didn't follow due process. That is Sokoto ADC. PDP more concerned with party convention than winning elections. That's what Wike said. Bode George, PDP crisis rooted in greed, disregard for party's founding principles. These are the riders. And Middle East crisis, we are working to protect consumers from pump price manipulation. That's what the FCCPC has said. And court bars Ayeda. This is a story that I just saw this morning. I said it's funny. Ayeda Tiwa from seeking re-election. Well, we can still find out more. And he said, I've not presented myself for another election. That is what he said. I've not presented myself. And Oshuguba, my remarkable achievements will speak for me. That's what Adeleke has said. Well, these are part of what we have. in the front page of the New Telegraph. And we will see discuss it. But I just want to say, before we look at that, let's take a little look. Okay, before we go to the next one, let's just deal with this one a little bit, Matthew. Looking at that drama in Senate, Abaribe, Ume, Tambuwa, 6 others defect to ADC. What do you think about this?
Well, it's it's a year of politics.
Yes.
You know, we expect several other dramas to unfold as time goes on. This year in particular, I mean, we've never had this type of drama where we are somehow you can perceive that Nigeria is becoming a one-party state where we have defections almost every day.
Yes, the same party.
The same party of the ruling party. Yeah. So, well, so whatever is happening now is not surprise. This is a pre-election year, and then we expect even much more drama. You know, so. But looking at what happened in the Senate yesterday, well, I think the opposition, opposing voice, rather, that came after Baribe as an example, had a very strong point. Even though the man has also come out to defend himself by saying, well, he has been suspended or whatever he has, perhaps I had issue in his party, then party, before now, and that is why he's moving to ADC finally. You know, he said he had issue with Abga, and now he's moving to ADC. But the constitution is very clear. The constitution has said that, look, you just can't dump a party, you know, where you belong and jump into another party without so provisions. For instance, if there is some form of crisis in your party, is a good point. If there is factions, you know, opposing factions that has established, for instance, just like what we have in PDP now, it clearly states what the Constitution has said about provisions, how you can, you know, move from one party, you know, your initial party to the new party where you are going to as a sitting legislature. So that is where the opposing voice to Abaribe defection, as you know, they are speaking from, because as it is today now, his party, the Abga party, has not recorded a significant there's no issue. We are not even hearing any issues for it from that party.
Abga, okay.
So when you decide to now dump the party and move to a new party, of course, the Senate have the right to also look at the rule of the grand law of the Senate, and look at it whether or not you are qualified to have even done so. And thank God, you know, he has also been given privilege to go ahead and, you know, check himself, check every other thing, get back to the Senate within a week, and then let's see whether or not you can try to change your mind, or maybe you settle with your party or whatever. So I think it's a welcome development. In my opinion, that's also the beauty of democracy.
I will tell you something about this. Abaribe, sometime in November last year, was suspended by the state chapter of Abga, for what they referred to as anti-party activities. And because he was a kind of hobnobbing with some members of the ADC. And so because of that, they suspended him. So because of that suspension already, there seems to be a kind of misunderstanding that's already brewing in their midst there. And apart from that, I also gathered that it has not all been smooth for Abga in the state. And you know that Abaribe had been the helmsman,
of course,
the one that has held that party rally in the state. So when they now started doing these things, talking about you doing anti-party activity and all that, you are suspended. For me, I think they made a mistake there, big mistake. This same man that has made it that you are being heard or noticed, he is the strongest voice for Abga in Nigeria. At least he was up till the time he
especially
defected.
in the legislature.
Yes, in the legislature, yes. You know, and After all, the governor of Anambra State is from ABGA. But he hasn't been saying much about ABGA. He's faced his governance.
In fact, he has even he's played a very good alliance.
Yes,
with several others.
With the APC.
With the APC especially.
Yes, and so nobody has gone there to say, Oga, you are playing too much, we'll suspend you. No. Because, I mean, when you are very few, you manage what you have. Because what about the people that are so many? They are the ones that have some, what do I use now? Some impetus to even go ahead to make some noise and talk. But you have this man as the main voice. What you would have done is to meet him privately and discuss with him and find out. But they decided to forget about all that and, if you like, try to see if they will watch their discipline in the public.
Well, I think they made a mistake,
yes,
just like you said, because this party is, you can even call it a geopolitical party. It's a party that is just within Abia, Anambra.
Yes.
You know, so the spread of the party has, in fact, they ought to even focus more on the spread, on popularizing this party. This party called ABGA. I mean, fortunately for them, the name is quite big.
Yes.
Beyond the South.
Yes.
In fact, just the last election, I think Abraham Mako, the former minister under, I think, President Buhari, he actually used that platform to try his luck. So it's, for me, I think they ought to have even the party leadership at that level, especially in the Southeast geopolitical zone, ought to have even begin to look at how they can popularize this party the more,
expand look for top guns that will also come in there to
try to
just
see,
as Marco did.
I think they've not done a lot when it comes to lobbying and negotiation powers in terms of internal affairs of the party. And this man called Abaribe, I think it's going to be a lose for them.
Yes,
because
it's going to be a big one.
What they actually alleged was that you allege him to have been involved in anti-party activities. Yes, because this is politics.
You need
it's
to,
interest.
I mean, plan with people to find out exactly
you have
what's going on.
Many parties in our country are also having these issues. This inability to be able to solve the internal crisis within them. Don't let them forget that this thing called politics is actually a game of interest, especially when you're talking about Nigerian politics.
Yes.
It's a game of interest. Most of these people in the party, they are there for a reason. They are also looking at their future politically.
Yes.
So when it comes to this, for me, I think it was even unprecedented. I do not think it was even necessary in the first place, because they didn't even have the spread.
Yes.
They don't have the numbers. And so why not use the same voice? And this man we're talking about is one voice in the wilderness.
Yes.
Not only that is coming from Africa, but in terms of his
being
popularity,
effective in
terms of
the
his
National Assembly.
Echo voice.
Yes.
You look at a lot of acceptance of him, especially within Nigerian, among Nigerians. So they also have been able to settle whatever it is among themselves. But again, I wasn't surprised. I knew. In fact, I'm expecting between now, between end of this March, let's just say from April, where the primary will start from, the end of May, I'm expecting a whole lot of defection.
Yes, yes, I believe.
A lot of defection. So
I agree with you.
I'm not surprised at all.
We're going to still talk about this because I remember also that Ume. Anyway, before I even mention Ume, look at Peter Obi. Peter Obi had problem with Abure of the Labour Party when he said, yes, a faction, when he said that Peter Obi had begun to relate with ADP then, and they started. It was among the reasons for which Peter Obi decided to say, okay, let's go. Let's see what we can do elsewhere.
Yeah.
You see, people that know that there is somebody that is the main voice that lifts you, you should handle that one like the golden egg, not treat the fellow with levity. That's what they have failed to understand. And that's what is causing them problem. Again, okay, look at Ume. Ume has joined him, and they have left, because Ume has been of ABGA too, and now he has left.
Was even, not just ABGA, Ume was the chairman.
Yes.
He was a strong voice, very founding father.
Yes.
In fact, It is just now that he's moving.
Yes.
That man has been
There
consistent.
in everything, yes.
Quite consistent. Even when almost everybody is leaving, has left him. He has stood his, if you look at him, even aside being a party man, this is the first time you are actually seeing him practically working as a legislator.
Yes.
Staying for long and then, decide to be fully involved in this Nigeria politics. So
then again, look at Tambuwa. Tambuwa, who has been
PDP.
Yes, PDP all the while. And of course, everybody knows that the PDP is in trouble at a time like this. I mean,
Yes.
You don't need to hide this. Has also decided to join in going to ADC. And can you imagine? Some people in ADC, in his state, Sokoto, are beginning to say that, that his defection is not well spelled out. He is helping you, as far as we know.
Well, you see, that is politics. Now, most of those people you are talking about, if you go down there to do more of investigative journalism, you will discover that many of them have been sponsored.
Yeah, that's another thing. In fact, is this case of sponsorship that is even what people are also suspecting concerning Abari Bezon? The great man, let's pull him down.
Exactly.
They've been sponsored to do
Abari actually is, his record in the Senate.
Yes.
He's been one man that has been standing, opposing so many things about, Akpabio-led 10th Senate.
Yes.
So naturally, you expect that several things might work against him. Because he has been so consistent in his own ideology of politics, So, and that, for me, is a whole lot to talk about him when you talk about his style of politics. So for me, I was expecting that, yes, he has the right, number one, to defect to any party. Of course, any party is so desire. But at the same time, he ought to have also be prepared that, of course, a lot of people are looking for a way to perhaps, declare his seat vacant. Because, he has actually played that opposition role very well, quite well. He has done so well in that aspect. And that's why I'm not surprised. I'm even thinking that he would have been expecting it, obviously, that a lot of people, or few people would have hide under, some of his colleagues in the Senate to also be looking for a way in the Constitution to have removed him from that house. So these are all politics for 2027 to come. I think this year, especially, is going to be a very interesting year when you talk about the drama that we are going to unfold in our national politics. I knew that a lot of this will happen, actually, and I already seen that, just like the last program we had here. I said it during our newspaper review. I said, there's a lot of defection that is going to come. I knew very well that the only alternative that we have today as a country is ADC. ADC is the only alternative right now when you're talking about opposition party.
Yes. Talking about having strength, is it not?
In terms of just in terms of the politics is about also the sponsors.
Yes.
People who you can call the big wigs.
Yes.
Once they come together.
Yes, ADC has big wigs in it effectively.
Exactly, for now.
Yes.
And so once they are able to manage this affair properly without putting this personal ambition to be the major thing, because that's where I see their challenge is coming from after the primary.
Number two, ADC also has the effective grassroots coverage everywhere.
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
They have,
because it's been there for so long.
They have. It's just, fortunately, this is when the party is actually coming to national, limelight. And
but
I think
it's been there all the while.
It's been there. It's been there. It's just like when you're talking about SDP. SDP has been there for so many years. As a matter of fact, one of the most transparent election that has been recorded in Nigeria
was won by an SDP SDP man. That's talking about.
Talking about 1992 election. So look, we've had all of these parties, but the dominant party has always been the one in power. I think, and that has been happening because you have people who have the financial muscle to promote this party. They have the popularity also to nurse a lot of populations. To bring a lot of people, their allies and all of that. So once you are moving into that party, some people naturally have this loyalty.
Yes.
They decide, okay,
To some of these people who are the leaders.
So let me move
so
with
their
you.
followership follows them.
Just like
as
what is
simple as
happening
that.
yesterday.
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
you'll be asking yourself, why ADC? It is because that is now the new order. That is now the new opposition figure. And so as you are, look, from today now, you're going to be hearing a lot more.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot more. And the opposition for now that you'll be hearing so much people moving to will be ADC.
Okay. Well, we're working to protect consumers from pump price manipulation. That's what FCCPC is saying. There are some riders there that says new Iran Supreme Leader vows to keep Strait of Hormuz closed until then Iran steps up attacks on neighbors as oil price rises past $100. Stop the attack. Come to negotiation table, Russia tells U.S. Israel. Then 14,000 South Korean businesses facing closure over crisis. UNHCR says more than 3 million displaced in Iran. And all of this, talking about the Middle East crisis. And so FCCPC here is, that's our own, is working to protect consumers from pump price manipulation. Yes, in our place, this country called Nigeria, people will always look for any little opportunity to make huge wealth, maximize wealth in every way. And so it's good that the FCPC is saying something about it, the FCCPC rather, is saying something about it today. Because if not, someone told me that fuel is sold at 140 or 145 naira, sorry, 1,450 naira or 1,400 naira in Lagos right now.
Yeah.
And that here in the FCT, it goes for 1,500 and more, a little more here. Now, a few days back here, we were on one of our programs here, and someone called from Akwa Ibom, and he said, either Akwa Ibom or Cross River, and he said that they are getting fuel for 1,400 right now. I said, but even that was 3 days ago, or 2 days ago, 2 days ago. So why I'm saying this is that it's most likely that if you check again, you will find out that that price he gave us that time is no longer what it is in Akwa Ibom or Cross River.
Of course.
It would have gone higher because the processes through which they need to go to get that fuel have been made even more difficult and worse now. So definitely the price will still go up.
You know,
do you see a way out in this one?
Well, you know, we are in for this Middle East crisis right now. You know, and that simply shows us that, shows to everybody that whatever is happening at your back might likely affect someone even in front of you. You know, and so many people never thought this Iran, Israel, American crisis will affect them even in their own, you know, in their own home or in their business here in Nigeria. But you can now see, because once there's a disruption in terms of this logistics, in terms of this supply, in terms of the movement of this stuff, and that is, you know, most of these things happen within the Middle East. And so once it happened, obviously, this is where we are finding ourselves. You know, if you go to the streets now, you will see how a lot of people are being stranded this morning. Because the transportation has simply rise in price. And once fuel is affected in Nigeria, almost everything is also, you know, the price of everything will change. We start increasing. Even the restaurant woman, we think about how much she spends to bring these goods and all of that. The one who is selling just, you know, maize or roasting corn somewhere, they would also look at how much I was able to bring this in. So
and even to buy the charcoal, it
affects everything. Our economy Nigeria is a mono-economy nation, so it affects everything here. Now, talking about FCCPC, you know, their mandate is to protect consumer. Their major, that's what they are, is an agent of, an agents of government that ensure that the rights of consumers.
Federal Competition
yes,
and
the Consumers Protection.
Consumer Protection Commission.
Their responsibility is to ensure that people are being protected, consumers' rights are not violated, and they get value for whatever they have paid for. That's their. So, of course, I expect them to, at this time, to be up and doing. I expect them to critically be looking at how much Nigerians are paying for certain things, especially this talking about fuel. You know, when you look at, when you mentioned 1.5, in FCT right now, no, I have not seen, I do not think, except maybe if I go out this morning, I do not think we have seen any fuel station that is selling for 1.5 as at this time, or 1,004 or 1,450. But I know as at yesterday, few of them were already selling as 1,002.
Okay, 1,2. You
know, 1,002. So when you talk about 1.5, it is basically those what do you call it? These black marketers, these guys who also go to the fuel station to get some, and then station themselves on the road to sell for those who are probably stranded and so on. So when you go to black marketers, of course you're going to be getting 1,005.
Okay.
Now.
Okay, we'll just continue from there, but let's just take this break. We'll return, and of course, when we return, of course, the number will be there for you to make your call, dear viewer, so as to be part of what we're discussing. Here we are again. Good to know you're still there for us, and of course, the number will be there for you right now, so that you'll be able to make your call. Please, we want to hear from you too. Let's not just be me and Matthew. Let's just share it. That's one good thing about this station, I must tell you. We try the best we can to ensure that it's an all-inclusive affair when we have our programs on air here. Especially that's why in most cases we have numbers for you to call and be part of it. And even here now, you have this one that is placed here already for you. I think is 0802, you know, I normally say 938365, something like that. You're seeing it. Please do call. Do make your calls. Let's just go on with it. We will still be talking. Apart from that one, another interesting story that I've seen here, before we let New Telegraph be now, is that court bars Ayedatiwa from seeking re-election. And Ayedatiwa has said, I have not even said that I'm protesting.
I'm yet to make my interest known to anyone.
So why is it that people are struggling to make sure that I don't go there? I think the person that went to court is from PDP. So he's fighting.
He's an APC member.
Oh, is he APC?
Yes.
Okay. You
know, that is simply because of the internal party arrangement.
Yes.
You know, obviously they know that they just want him to be aware that, Oga, there's no more time. I mean, you don't have chance anymore. Once you are done with this this ongoing term, then you are to allow us to be. So it is about internal party affairs, and they needed to just make it straight from the beginning, so that the party will not be, the party will have a focus.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. The man is Akin Egbuwalo.
Yeah.
He's from APC.
He's an APC member who actually went to court to challenge this, he's just trying to make it clear to him. The major issue is that party has always had their issue. They've always had their own internal arrangements, or for those who are also standing right now, who are aspiring to be governors or to be whatever it is, in one political position or the other. So it is the year of politics. It is the year where primary is going. I mean, though the election is coming up in 2028, they are not even going to be having the election in 2027. So, but they just wanted to be sure that, yes, the party has, the party, this position of the law is understood by the party that, look, this incumbent, the now governor, cannot be an aspirant or cannot be re-elected, cannot take the ticket anymore. So let's know now, so that you can begin to look at the people within the internal environment who want to take this.
And why is it so? It's so. I think it's so because he finished his former boss's
Yes, yes. He
tenure
finished
and
Akeredolu's
started his
tenure.
own.
Yes, yes.
And started his own.
Yes.
So,
by constitution,
yes.
you can't do beyond
because,
8 years.
Yes, and
So
if he ever goes in again,
it's
he will stay
going
beyond
to be
8
like
years.
10 years. Because he finished,
Yeah.
he was sworn in 2024.
Yes.
And then he also came on board. He finished Akeredolu's tenure
Yes.
within 2 years. And then now he has been sworn in as a governor who is going to end, by the time his own is ending, it's going to be 6 years.
6 years.
And so, if he gets re-elected again,
That means
then
it
it's
takes
going to
another
be
4
10
years.
years.
That will be 10 years.
It's going to be 10 years. And by constitution,
It is
he
out of
cannot go
place.
beyond 8 years. Except if there's going to be any other electoral amendment that will allow him, or perhaps to say 2 years
after that.
after that. So as of today, the constitution does not permit it.
Yes.
So, and that's why, for me, I think that's a very good smart move for the man
that
who
was
has
contesting
gone to this
in
contest
court,
it in
yes.
court. And the man is saying, I have not even said I want to. Yeah, we know,
Yeah,
but we know you are a politician.
But don't try to say.
We know you are a politician. So we want to let you know now that yes, this is the position of the law.
Yeah.
And so anybody who has an interest in this position where you are right now, they can start preparing themselves, and that is where the law has
Okay, let's look at
right
Vanguard. And from the Vanguard, above the masthead again, Nigeria's, with a big rider there, Nigeria's economy will withstand shocks from U.S.-Iran war. That's what Cardoso said, of course, which we saw in the other one. Then 2027, Obi, Atiku, Amechi working together to stop to stop APC, then troops recapture Borno community, kill terrorist commander, 19 others in Yobe attack. The federal government okays new military hardware as troops intensify anti-terror war. Then below, now the masthead, there is the headline, Middle East War. Anxiety mounts as oil price hits $100 per barrel. Depot owners, marketers maintain 1,200, 1,300 per liter, just as you said. Then downstream, undergoing structural transition. Professor Iledare said so. Then Straits of Hormuz will remain closed, says Iran Supreme Leader in first message. And infrastructure under attack. Output drops to 1.315 million barrels per day. OPEC. Oh, well. Then coming down beyond the picture that is in front there, we have Tinubu to politicians. Bow to rule of law on Electoral Act. Bow to rule of law on Electoral Act. Defense signing amid IPAC pushback. I had no choice. That's what he said. He had no choice. On the Electoral Act, the president is telling us you had no choice. I wonder. Let's just laugh over this, Mr. President. Now, there is something else that the Vanguard has done, which is beautiful here. The Vanguard wrote down, he said, Abaribe, Ume, Tambuwa, Ireti Kingibe. 5 senators defect to ADC. So, then it had APC now 87 senators. ADC 9, PDP 6, NMPP 1, NDC 1. Of course, you know that NDC is
the new party.
Yes, Siraki Dixon is the only one yet. That's what keeps bothering people. Why would you just come with this alone? Where are the others coming with you?
Well, he has to start from somewhere.
But anyway, he has to start from somewhere.
And the road is still 2027.
Okay.
So who knows? Something can just,
yes.
could also mop up with some people.
Yeah, who will now decide to come with him. And now, so ADC, if ADC has become, has had 9 senators, that means ADC is the leading opposition party.
That you are talking about in the Senate.
Yes, in the Senate, yes.
No,
that's
that's we're talking about minority, right?
yes, leading minority party, sorry.
Yeah.
Did I say majority?
Minority.
Minority. The leading minority party. So it is ADC that is named. What this, in actual fact, will get to mean, not long from now, is that I don't know who was there before Abaribe, but of course, whoever that is in that ADC, and now that Abaribe has come, I know that things being reasoned the correct way will hand over leadership to Abaribe. So in no distant time we will hear that Abaribe is now the minority leader of
that's very
the
possible.
Senate.
That's very possible.
Because, I mean, he is the most experienced of all.
I think that's part of the calculation.
Yes.
Because if you are looking at 9 and you're looking at PDP to be 6, then by
there's no way
virtue
6
of the,
9 will overtake 6
of their act in the National Assembly, then the ADC automatically becomes the minority leader.
Yes.
And so he obviously being in that shoe, I mean, at his level, obviously, automatically we aspire or to become the leader of the minority in that party.
That's good.
In the Senate, rather.
I must say, he's one man that has his head well fixed.
No, he's a very calculated, quite eloquent, and also calculated politician.
Yeah.
And he's been consistent.
Yes.
If you look at his narratives all the while, you've always been, you know, we've not been seeing more of, even though we have people who have also said different things from different side of their mouth.
Yeah.
But if you look at Abaribe as an example, I think he's been standing tall.
Yes.
You know, in his critics.
Yes.
Even while he was when President President Buhari was in power.
Yes.
He has made his stand known.
Yes.
Now that the new president is in power,
yes.
President
he still
maintained his stand.
Especially this role he played during the electoral law.
Aligned himself with the people.
He came out openly to say no.
He has always aligned himself with the people, the masses, the interests of the people, and that is what has given him all of this popularity. A lot of people just naturally want to listen to him because he seems to be, you know, standing alone at a time, talking to the assembly that, look, we are here for the people. We are here to represent people, and this is what we should be doing. This is not what we should be doing. And so for me as a person, I have seen him actually, active in terms of in performing quite well in terms of his role. And so seeing him becoming, if he eventually skate through with this ADC and then finally become a full member of ADC, I will also expect him to be maybe minority leader. I'm quite sure that a lot of drama is, going to unveil very, very soon. If you're looking at this primary that is coming up with these parties, because they have just April and May.
Yes.
And so after that primary, I'm quite sure that ADC will become they are going to have more members in the Senate, in the House of Rep, and then who knows, they may even be having governors also.
Yes.
So I wish to see more of their drama.
Honestly, it's good. It's good. Let's see it, because that will also help the fact that we're talking about that we should not have a one-party state.
No.
This is a strong
alien to democracy.
Yes, it is.
You can't have a democracy without opposition voice.
Yes. If that happens, then it ceases to be democracy.
Of course, that cannot even be said to be a democratic system. Once you don't have an opposition party in democracy, then it therefore means that everything that the ruling party is doing becomes a law, becomes the pattern, becomes accepted. In fact, it's not even close to democracy.
Yes.
There's always that provision for opposition party, and that's why democracy allows multi-party system. In our own country, unfortunately, we don't even have much of them. That we've always been having just one voice, and that's why.
But on the economic side, there's something I'm thinking about. All these are multi-party system. America has many parties,
of course.
But there are just these major two that have been allowed.
It's been like that.
Yes. So we can still have such things in Nigeria, so that not when you go for the voting, they will give you a long sheet of paper that has the names of so many parties, even the ones you've never heard of before, and they expect you to start looking for, oh, that your party is somewhere there, look for it and vote. Why not because that is money that is being wasted.
And that's why you have what is also called the registration of political parties.
Yes.
You know, by the guidelines of Electoral Act also, you have seen that even as an individual you can go to court.
Yes.
After election, after some time, if you look at a particular party is not being in power, there are provisions of how you can go to court and say this party should
not be
registered.
there
INEC
again.
will register them.
Yes.
Once they are not performing, once they are not
they
active,
don't have any
they are
person
just
to
standing there.
represent
Of
them
course,
in any government thing. They should be gone.
INEC have the right to do so. You know, so this major party like PDP, like APC, like ADC, of course, everybody knows as of today in Nigeria that those are the major political parties we have in Nigeria, and it's always like that, even in other democratic system we have around the world.
Matt, there is something else. Is it not surprising that Labour Party does not have any member in the Senate any longer?
Yeah, because they have failed to manage their internal crisis. You know, Labour Party.
It will be so in the same House of Reps that Labour Party is no longer in existence.
Labour Party lost a golden opportunity. Look, Labour Party has been in existence for God knows when.
Yes.
They've been there. The last I heard of Labour Party, with the governor was Mimiko in Ondo State. After then, I don't know of any states that they've been the executive in terms of being the governor. Now, I think by divine providence, they now have a man who had a lot of followers.
Got them back to life.
Got them back to life, prior to 2023 election. But you saw what happened. But at the same time, I know quite well that whatever happened in the Labour Party was also not just, it didn't just happen by chance. There are some invisible fingers, obviously.
Of course, yes. Remember that we saw, it was clear, everybody saw it on the TV, when Abure went to visit the minister. I said, this man, you're leaving your ground. You want to go and bring trouble into your party. And since then, that party has not woken up.
And that's why ADC also needs to be aware of whatever is happening now. You know, I'm not their spokesperson, but I think they need to be guided also. You know, because when you look at almost all the major political parties that has tried in any way to oppose the ruling party or to stand as opposition to the ruling party, look at PDP. Who would have known that PDP would be, their back would be on the floor today? Despite all investment, despite all
torn to shreds.
They have, PDP, you can just imagine PDP having 2 governors in Nigeria, in the entire 36 states of the country.
Yes.
That is where PDP that is what the PDP has been reduced to.
Yes.
And even as we are speaking now, their leadership structure is not in place.
And how sure are you that those 2 governors will still be there by the end of the day?
And so even as of today, anybody who is speaking their form, in PDP, no authentic leader is going to sign that form.
Yes.
Until this month, they are going to have another convention. So we hope that they're able to resolve their leadership crisis and they have substantial people accepted by law in place. But you see, I think this is just a game of politics that is going on in our country. Labour Party ought to have used that opportunity that Obi had, the popularity they had as at that time, and they popularize themselves, make them, begin to plan themselves across board. You can just imagine a party without structure, as alleged, a party without governors everywhere, without senators everywhere, without House of Rep member everywhere, prior to 2023 election, having the kind of popularity they had for Obi candidates.
Yes.
So if they had been able to many people won election because of Obi candidates.
Simple. That's
even
what happened.
this current FCT senator.
Yes. The same way with the member of House of Reps from Kaduna
and several others. So
that got it.
It was because of this man's candidacy as at then.
And that one left.
So
2 months or 3.
People just had this alliance, this pity that look, we have to come together. In fact, let me say, many people were not even during the presidential election. Many people don't even look at who is in the who is going for House of Rep, who is going for Senate. because Obi was on the ballot, they were just passing for
yes.
For,
and the Obi himself
know.
even said then, please, when you vote for me, vote for people that also represent us there, so that it will be easier for us to do the
even
work.
campaign for them,
Yes.
even went around and campaign for this. So for me, it's just mismanagement of their internal crisis that has caused whatever wherever they find themselves today in terms of their absence in in key positions in Nigerian politics.
I also want to look at this Ireti's matter. I think I should even be saying thank God for Ireti for leaving the PDP to join
Obviously,
ADC, because I mean the FCT minister has made every effort to make her not to talk anymore, and of course never to expect returning. He has even made it clear, open everywhere, that the next person that should be brought in is the other man in PDP, who I know that very soon he will ask him to carpet cross, to move over to APC, so that he will.
Is it the former Senator Aduda?
Yes, so that he will get him to be the one that will return. But good thing, Ireti has read the handwriting on the wall and decided to join another party that has strong leadership and strong followership as far as Nigeria is concerned today. So anything can still happen. Nobody should write her off because she's going somewhere that she hopes there is strength. Oh, well, that is for politics and for politicians. The Punch said something. States demand forensic audit of $8.8 billion $8.8 billion crude for loan deals. Then NNPC faces fresh, these are riders, NNPC faces fresh pressure over heavy crude-backed loan transactions. So some loan transactions have been done in the country right now, and by the government, of course, has been paid for with crude oil. That's what it is.
That was done during President Buhari.
Buhari did that a whole lot
so
effectively
then.
And in fact, did it for years to come. Of course.
And that's why when a lot of people just don't understand that, even despite the fact that Nigeria is earning much more now in this oil as a nation, we also forget that even our production capacity, day production, it depends. Except you can increase it also,
because
most of it is going for servicing of debt. So look, we are in a. I think Nigeria was almost, we were actually heading to a very wrong path at the time in our country. And so I think the crisis right now is even somehow helping us in terms of earning more.
Yes.
So when when per barrel of crude is going to over 100, then you will know that yes, there will be more money. But who is suffering from all of this fight is the masses.
Still the masses.
The masses suffer. So it's no longer a news that we've already pledged some of our crude for low servicing, of course.
Then states want legislative approval for future crude for loan deals, which is good. Because if there is approval, let it not just be only from the presidency. Let the legislature also see it. Let it be made clear. So that, if there is problem, we'll know how to start handling it. But if it's just for one angle, it could be forgotten.
That is why we need to have the right kind of legislature.
That's it.
It's not just about bringing people from everywhere and then we say we have this Senate, we have this House of Rep.
Then whatever the president says, they agree.
They need to understand that these are separate arms of
government. Yes.
These are separate. As executive is there, that is how judiciary is there. That is how legislature is there. And so each one of these
three arms.
Organs or the arms of government ought to have worked independently and ensure that Nigerians' interest is the most important in everything we are doing. But it's more disheartening when we look at the Senate what we have, and then we discover that the Senate we have you can imagine the president will be in the Senate. And the Senate, they become choir.
Yes, that kind of thing. On your mandate, as though it were to be a one-party thing.
That's exactly what it says. And even if it's one-party state, right? The legislature has a function.
Yes, you need to carry out your duty.
Let me even say that legislature is the most important in democracy, in my opinion, because they directly, represent people. Each of these constituency or constituent has representative.
Yes.
And so I'm saying that this man in the National Assembly, who is my who is my House of, is representing my interest in this House of Rep.
And whatever he has said is
and
what
whatever
I
he
want
says
to say.
is what is happening. It's even have its adverse effect around me as well. So when the people will bring on board in politics begin to understand that, look, this thing is not just about you going into the house and then just enjoy the security, enjoy all of the rhetorics, enjoy all of the praises, and then you just leave. Once you go into such a place and then you come out without making a positive impact in such an institution, you have simply missed an opportunity.
That's it. Strong
simply missed an opportunity. And unfortunately, many of them, I've discovered that many of our politicians, it is mostly when they are out of power, they begin to have solutions to national problems.
Yes.
You will see them, kicking against some of the policy of, the new government, which they are not in.
Yes, because they are not there.
Because they are not there.
As simple
but
as
when
that.
they were there,
they didn't do anything.
They didn't do anything. Many a times, okay, just look at the Senate that we have. How is Senate I mean, how can the Senate president say they are there to, how can the Senate president be saying he's there to do what is in the interest of Mr. President?
Yes.
It started even while Senator Lawal was the Senate president. And each time I look at him, I was like, does it mean this man does not really understand what
he has come to do?
This responsibility is. It's beyond all of these. When you are praising the president, you are just simply saying, look, we are not here for anybody. We are not here for any representative here. We are here
just come to
just enjoy ourselves.
Whatever he says, we will do. We don't
perform whatever the president. Senator Lawal said it then. He said, we are here, we do anything Mr. President wants. You don't do that. As a matter of fact, legislature is a very strong institution in democracy because they are the one directly, representing the people. You are a legislator now. You are simply telling somebody, say, look, I am going right in there to protect your interests, and your interests will stand. What you say. That's why they are not. That's why all of us are not in National Assembly. They are 108 right now. They are 106 because of the demise of three members. Okay. So they are when you are 108, you are there, right, to represent people, and their major function. Their major function is oversight. To make, number one is to make law, and number two is to do oversight. And so whatever is coming, especially from the executive, the Senate has the responsibility. Both the House of Assembly, and the Senate, they have the responsibility to look at it critically and say, look, come to think of it, whatever they are not pleased with, they have the right to reject. They even have the right by Constitution to summon the president. Yes. To appear before them.
But now, how would you summon the person that you see as your boss, not even as a contemporary?
That is why.
That's the problem.
You see,
with all that.
Where all of these things happen is it is when we begin to have interference between the president and the legislature, especially when the president also have interest in who becomes
the Senate president,
not just the Senate president, who becomes the leadership,
key members of the National Assembly.
Those who are leadership figures of those houses. Once president has interest in it and he plays some very good role in ensuring that certain people within his own interest emerge their leadership, then you're going to have a show. Okay. And that's where we find ourselves.
That's it. God will help us. I remember
that's
that somebody I said,
we just need to help ourselves.
God? We need to do
God
things.
Has helped us.
He has. I keep saying that He has helped us.
It's one of the most blessed lands in the world.
Most helped.
So it's time for us to also help ourselves.
Help ourselves. That's it. That's another thing. Though this one is not in the Bible, it's not in the Bible. But people say that heaven helps those who help themselves. And some people think it's
you
in
have
the Bible.
To help yourself.
It's
God has given us
It's just that there is need for us. On the final note, poverty rate jumps to 63% after subsidy removal. That's the report. And that's, of course, above the masthead of the Punch. Well, poverty rate jumps to 63% after subsidy removal. Jumps. Well, we have seen it. We are hoping to see what will happen after all these, because we are about getting into another section that is the way we had oil boom, you know. If this continues, we are going into the boom section. And that money that will be made at the end of the day, I hope those in authority will make effective use of it and let the people know what has happened, what they have done, what has come in, and what they have done with it. Let it not just be swept under the carpet. That's one thing I know.
Poverty has always lived with us. You know, many Nigerians actually grew up in poverty.
Yes.
So
many.
this is not. The unfortunate thing is that it kept growing. Why can't we have it reduced?
That's the problem.
Yesterday I was just looking at the situation of our electricity supply in Nigeria, and I look at when I was growing up in the city of Abuja. In fact, especially when we just moved into Abuja, I discovered that there was even more stable electricity. As at then, if you flashback at some years back, perhaps like 2020, you know that there was more power supply in Abuja than what we are experiencing now.
Of course, yes.
Almost, in fact, the presidential villa, they are going off grid now this month. They are going to be it is going to be solar.
Yes, we've seen it.
So you see,
and that did cost trillions of naira.
The question we should be asking ourselves is that, does it mean this crisis of darkness is insurmountable? Does it mean we can't overcome this particular challenge?
Let me tell you, talking about it being insurmountable is not so. It is surmountable. Look at small South Africa. I keep saying small because the size of South Africa is even about less than half of what we have in Nigeria. Even the population. But do you know that South Africa, they are our own. We pump what we have pumped out to use for electricity is generate from the water and from everywhere. What we have generated is the power we have generated is 4.6 million megawatts. But South Africa, small South Africa, I keep saying it, has 45 million megawatts. Is it not a big share?
And in terms of population, we're higher.
So much higher.
We're higher. So,
And so who says it's not insurmountable? That's why I'm saying it. It is. Look at Ghana. Again, look at Ghana. Ghana that is just close by. Ghana, our independence is just close to the other. And look at Ghana. Ghana, in the past 12 years, has not had power shortage, power failure.
This is possible,
And that is what Abia is doing today in 9 of its local governments, that in the past 8 months, they've not had power failure. I pray it will continue. Although the governor is working to ensure that other local governments within that state will also enjoy the same. I will ask a question. If they succeed in doing it, what would the other states that are in the southeast be doing? They should all rally around Abia, and so that they can have it as a zonal hub, and that will be so. Let other zones also do their own. Because this national grid thing, it doesn't make much sense any longer.
Look, this is very possible. I have had opportunities to live in OAU as at then in 80s. And as at the time I lived there as a child, there was stable electricity. And in fact, that was the only time in my entire life living in Nigeria that I've experienced that there was electricity somewhere in Nigeria. I'm talking about Obafemi Awolowo University. My dad was working there as at then. And so I lived there as a child. And the quarters, there was always light. In fact, that place was quite organized. That you don't even see everything is organized, and you just have a decent living. So you see, this is very possible. It's just about being deliberate. It's just about leadership willingness. I think at this time, since 1960, if Nigeria has not been able to generate electricity that could be sufficient enough to take care of the needs of the people, how are we going to be talking? talking about electricity is because I know quite well that without electricity, forget development.
Yes.
Forget about socio-economic development. It's practically impossible.
Yes.
Right here that we are using power to transmit, isn't it?
Yes, that is
That
in
means
this station.
without power, nothing can work, isn't it?
And
Even the man who is a barber somewhere there,
Yes.
who cut hair, without generator, without a source of light, he can't simply perform it. Even though you probably will say, okay, there are clippers of, but would you want to go into a salon where you'll be feeling it?
No.
Right? That means power is very essential. Power, in fact, why it is called power is because it naturally generates energy in you once there is a supply of electricity.
Yes.
And so what happens is when people are in darkness, I'm just going to summarize with this analogy. Look, you can't simply move a vehicle at night without headlamp. If you put a vehicle on the road, on express road at night, driving with speed, right?
Without headlamp.
Without headlamp, you are heading, that is suicide mission, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
That means you have to be going small, like you have to go very little. Your speed will be very low.
Yeah.
That is what happens when we are dwelling in darkness. So once we don't have electricity, forget about socio-economic development, because rather than us moving with speed, just like the rest of the world is doing, we'll be going at a very low speed. And that means everybody remain on the same spot. So talking about poverty, you can't simply eliminate poverty when you are in darkness.
Yes.
That is why people go to school to get light. So it is when you become enlightened, you begin to know your rights, you begin to know what you're supposed to do, you have the right kind of education, which automatically can translate into you giving offer services, and then people pay you in return, isn't it? That is what light does. So once you are in darkness, forget about poverty. So this 63% of poverty rate increment and all that. Look, of course, I even want to believe that it should be more than that, because a lot of people are unemployed as we speak in Nigeria.
Yes.
So many people with master's degree, even if you'll be shocked, people with PhD in Nigeria who are doing nothing. And then you question the kind of education we also have. Is it to build capacity, or rather to to give certification, so many issues. So poverty rate in Nigeria, of course, is very alarming. And that's why, I even think that is one of the major causes of our social vices today.
Okay. Well, that's where we will let it be for today. I want to say thank you so much for being part of what has happened. And of course, I wouldn't forget to say, Matthew, it's always been good whenever you are on air.
Thank you so much.
That's what we have said again at a time like this. And well, we'll still keep doing it. We're here together.
Yeah.
We're here together, so we'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matthew.
My pleasure to be here this morning.
And he is a colleague, of course, here with us, and a public affairs analyst as well. I have other people with whom we have worked. Debayo, Sanusi, thank you for all the worries. I also want to say thanks to Sam, and not forgetting, Sam Omaji, thank you so much, and not forgetting, of course, the one that has given me some worry this morning. Bribe Chukwebue, the head of the department there, thank you. It's all part of it. All we're doing is want to make sure that the best will come our way. And not forgetting, of course, Ephraim Omona, thank you. All of you, we've worked together, we've shared things, we have had ideas, we have put together. All of course, is aimed at coming out to be the best we ought to be every time. So I thank all of you. And not forgetting Victor Chizea and Felix Akinjabola. Ruben Okala, thank you so much. This is Okechukwu Anubabo. May the very best happen to us all the time.